The new and reformed ruling of hell might be what Lucifer had to do, but not wanted. A closing moment that we didn't quite understand, along with some other things that were left untold or explained to be more precise as the sixth, which will also be the last season of the series, ended, leaving fans in a world of hurt to know more about certain things.
I was down here, stuck in my own hell loop of sorts, thinking I deserved to be in charge of people.
The Lucifer series was one of a kind and went through a lot of things, both behind scenes, but also on the small screens in our homes. And with the sixth season already over, which is also the series finale, we got what the people working on the series promised, a bittersweet end which saw the devil's adventures on Earth tied into a nice little bow. However, it also left us with a lot of unanswered questions, a lot of plot holes that we think the series did not address properly, or even at all, leaving bits and pieces here and there for what it seems like to only spite us because, that's just the devil's way of doing things. The world jumped 20 years forward in the final moments of the series, and some major life moments will probably be left unclear. And although the cast to some extent teased us with a little bit of energy towards a potential movie, with all the plot holes presumably being left for that project to answer, we are still to take this news with a grain of salt, as it might never happen. That's where the franchise stands right now, at least.
Really? I think there are a few other talents I'm gonna miss.
So with all things considered, and probably a while before official news came through about any potential project regarding the franchise, we dug deep and found some of the things we wish we knew before the final credits of the TV show rolled. And before we move forward, as you might have already witnessed, there will be spoilers up ahead about the Season 6 finale. So if you haven't watched the final season of the series, first of all, we don't know what you're waiting for, and secondly, beware, you have been warned. And with that out of the way, let's dive right in. One of the major plot holes in itself was the absence of Scarlett Estevez's Trixie throughout the final episodes of the entire series, with her being pushed to the sidelines, benched for her celestial, mystery half-sister Rory to shine. And while she remained the only character to not know Lucifer's true identity, him being the devil, there's one moment that is simply unforgivable. Why was Trixie absent when Chloe died? Where she, a huge piece of the puzzle, was missing when one of the two main characters was on her deathbed? Forwarding 20 years in the future, Chloe dies of a mysterious illness, a moment that triggers Rory to get back at her absent father, Lucifer, who to her knowledge disappeared without any trace shortly after her conception, with no sign of him to be seen, like ever. Rory then finds out he was out there trying to protect her. She returns to her mother, with the pair sharing a comforting and loving final moment before Chloe passes away, rejoining Lucifer in the underworld that also let her have the happy ending she was hoping for. Chloe's children are everything to her, and the bond she had with Trixie was simply out of this world. And there are no two ways about her being beside her in the darkest of times, which begs the question, why wasn't she there in the first place? There's no doubt about the fact that Maze and Eve got their happy ending by the end of the series, with the two suited up and ready for crime-fighting duo life, looking more in love than ever, with the two finding each other's soulmate. They're also immortal and were there for the birth of Rory, and despite promising her that they will be there to protect and raise her, even giving her own knives, we all know that this could not last forever. The main reason that will probably give everything away is the fact that 20 years forward, the people will notice that the two have not aged, not even a bit. So the likeliest option is that they will have to move quite frequently in their future lives to avoid suspicion. However, even that will get boring at some point, right? This also means that they cannot be there for Rory if they're not able to physically be there for her. So what is their story moving forward?
Well, like you once told me, I wouldn't change a thing.
The final season of the Lucifer series has shown us yet another newcomer to the series, at least, because he's the first man alive, Adam, a self-entitled toxic masculine slob who felt like Eve belonged to him. However, this did not stick, as he was the one walking Eve down the aisle and giving her to Maze, rather than kidnapping her and claiming her as his own, something we secretly all thought at some point, right? This could all have been seen as a character growth, that is, if the whole thing did not move too fast. One thing we don't know about Adam is whether he returns to heaven or remains on Earth, a crucial detail that the series seems to have forgotten to tell us. We were able to see him developing a working relationship with therapist Dr. Linda, but he suddenly disappeared. So where exactly is he now? According to our speculation, there are two ways for him to go back to his old ways, seeing how he has literally been here for millennia, and join with some men's rights activists, or be more present and pave the way for the modern man.
I got this.
I could hold my breath, but
There's one anomaly in the whole Lucifer series, and that is baby Charlie, who's half angel, half human, a baby that should not technically even exist. But here it is. Amenadiel is thrilled by the knowledge of his son being half angel. However, his mother, Dr. Linda, on the other hand, who's a single human mum to a celestial being, not so much, and not in a bad way, but in a confusing way of doing things. Like, how is she able to keep up with Charlie now that after 2 full years of growth, he showed his wings? He's surely going to be throwing some tantrums pretty quickly, and how is he supposed to cope with everything? Many logistics need to be worked out, or their entire cover will be blown away when the time comes, when she will have to explain to the potential witnesses of how her baby that can barely walk is flying nevertheless. Defeated in his mission to become a god, Lucifer's twin brother Michael kneels before his brother after Lucifer is the one to take on the mantle he craved for so long. Deciding to impart a teaching moment, Lucifer does not murder his brother, but instead cuts off his wings and leaves him earthbound, something that the final moments of Season 5 showcased. However, in the first episode of Season 6, we see Michael scrubbing floors in hell with only his scarred back showing us who he is. Why is he even there, if he was not punished and was pardoned instead? The whole thing seems like a complete flip of what Lucifer was trying to teach him beforehand. On the other hand, Lucifer finally finds his calling, reforming hell so he could help the lost souls and help them free themselves from all the guilt and for them to ascend to heaven. But this all comes at a price. He's not able to return to Earth, meaning that he can't see his daughter Rory, but also not being able to spend the final years of Chloe's life beside her. And while this is all to ensure that Rory's timeline stays the same and nothing changes along the way, why is Lucifer not able to pop up now and then, avoiding Rory in the process so nothing changes for her? But not avoiding everyone else, Chloe for instance.
I'll see you soon, Mom.
On a related note, tell us down in the comments below what are your thoughts on all of this. Feel free to share your theories about some, if not all, the plot holes we covered in this video, and tell us your take on things, but also don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon if you'd like to see more videos like this in the future. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.